As we're fast approaching the midway point of 2023, my God, where has the time gone? Soon we'll all have one foot in the ground and both feet in the ground, and soon we'll be covered with dirt or possibly cremated somewhere. But before we get to that point, there's been a lot of great goddamn movies. I mean, so many great ones over here and so many bad ones. And there have been some in the middle, but I'm here to talk about the category over here. The movies that entertained me, enthralled me, got my emotions really goddamn high, made me cry, just made me absolutely elated to say, my God, what great goddamn movies. I love me some movies. So let's get to it. I'm John Rentham with my top 10 best movies of 2023 list with some honorable mentions. So let me know your favorite movies of 2023 in the comments, please. And in case you guys are wondering why I'm recording this a little bit earlier than I did last year, partly due to the fact that I'm going to be working so much the next few weeks. I'm not really going to have a whole lot of time to just say, oh, hey, I could figure out this list, or I could do this, or I could place this one around. I just wanted to talk about some of these. And sure, some of these may shift around by the time we get to the end of the year, but before I get gutted in the goddamn comments, I want to mention a few that I have not seen. A few big movies that I haven't seen as of this recording. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, The Flash, even though I haven't heard great things about The Flash. Across the Spider-Verse. I have not seen Across the Spider-Verse yet. I will probably catch it when it's on streaming. Creed 3 and Air. And I'm sure there are others. And you can suggest some in the comments that I should check out. So, now let's get to some honorable mentions. Brooklyn 4-5, a great Shudder original that really shows the horrors of war, and my God, it's got great writing and a lot of personal stuff from the director because he worked with his father on this. The Super Mario Brothers movie, the only hope is the sweet relief of death. Oh, come on! I can't do the kid's voice. Is it maybe just full of nostalgia and that's it? Sure. It was a fucking teetotal goddamn blast, and I had a lot of fun watching it. Renfield. A lot of blood, a lot of gore, and it made me not hate Aquafina, so good. Good right there. And Nicholas Hoult was also very good. Nicolas Cage was very good. And is it possible that maybe they had a cage that was aluminum? It was a Nicolas Cage? Yeah, okay, I tried. Polite Society. This was a lot of fun. Even with a few of the jokes that didn't land, this just had a great energy to it, and I really, really enjoyed the Bollywood and British mashup. It was just great stuff. And Dungeons and Dragons, Honor Among Thieves. It was so close to making it. And then I saw a couple things recently, just bumped it out of the top 10, but don't worry, I'll probably be doing at least a top 20 by the end of the year. Dungeons and Dragons, Honor Among Thieves. If you told me that I would have absolutely loved that, yeah, I would have laughed in your face because I hated the 2000s version, but man, saw a special screen. It was so great, so entertaining, and there we go. So now let's crack on with the top 10 now. So number 10, Sisu, however you say it. Multiple dead Nazis. Ah, ha, ha. If you saw my review, you will get it. Nazis messed with the wrong goddamn gold miner because there's gold in them there hills, and he found it, and he will be bound, determined to get all of his gold back and kill them all. Bloody, gory, ridiculous. There's no way anybody would survive. Pretty much most of the stuff this guy survives, but it's so great, so entertaining. Watch it. Absolutely watch it. It is worth it. And we go to number 9, Evil Dead Rise, which had one of the best goddamn title reveals that I have seen in a long time. I mean, this is my favorite Evil Dead movie. Yes, Evil Dead 2 holds a special place in my heart for just having the great comedy, mashing with the horror properly. I hated the 2013 Evil Dead, and I wasn't so sure how this one was going to go, but I saw all the advertisements and I said, fuck it, I'll go watch it. And I actually made a double feature of another movie on this list and Evil Dead Rise, which if you've watched my channel even for a little bit, you know what movie I'm talking about. And it was great to open up now. Mommy, you don't look so good. Well, nothing that a big hug and a kiss from you won't fix. And it's just great. It's just great. It's bloody. It's violent. It's brutal. Does it follow some of the same beats as the previous Evil Dead movies? Sure. Am I going to call it a perfect movie? No. But am I going to say Evil Dead Rise was hilarious? Absolutely. And there were some really crazy gore scenes and great performances, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of goddamn fun. As somebody that rewatched all 4 of the previous Evil Dead movies just before this one, I was raring to go to either love it or hate it, and I loved it, and that's why it's number 9. Number 8, The Artifice Girl. It utilized like 3 locations. I mean, seriously, I think there was a room for a police interrogation, an apartment, and then somebody's, like a loft house or something like that set in the future. But it's about an AI program that just grows and grows and becomes more sentient and everything. But it's told in such an organic, rich, and beautifully raw, emotional way that The Artifice Girl really surprised me. I was absolutely happy that I plunked down a few bucks to watch this on Amazon. The director, writer, star, he did great stuff here. This was wonderful. Franklin, great job. I mean, like anybody's gonna watch this from that movie, but I did review The Artifice Girl and it got some attention, and I'm really happy I took a chance on this. I was absorbed pretty much from the beginning, and it just kept getting me. It got me a tear up at the end. Not a lot of movies do. And you'll see on this list that maybe that was a little bit wrong. But this was great stuff. Check out The Artifice Girl. Absolutely worth it. That's why it's number 8. Number 7, Beau is Afraid. Okay, controversial choice. Pretty certain people will probably want to turn off the list right here, wondering, why the fuck did I put Ari Aster's, 3-hour trip through ridiculousness and anxiety and nuttiness and everything with Joaquin Phoenix and Nathan Lane and so much others. Parker Posey. At one point, there was just so much great stuff and so much wild stuff. And I'm not saying that all of it made sense, because it was a trip through anxiety and insanity. But it was great. Ari Aster absolutely knows how to get your attention. I'm not exactly sure what the fuck happened during all of it, but I know I loved it. I was one of the people that loved Midsommar, even though other people necessarily didn't care for it and kind of wondered what the fuck was going on with me. Hereditary, I've gained more and more affection for. My God, Ari Aster's a great goddamn director. Beau is Afraid. His most ambitious, daring, and dare I also say, polarizing picture, because it is very, very polarizing. That's why it's number 7. Number 6, Of an Age. I had debated putting this in the top 10 originally, but decided with great world building and some centralized focus on 2 particular characters, 2 men that fall for each other, and then life takes them in a different direction. Of an Age does follow some of the same beats that you would get in some romantic movies, and not even just romantic, but love stories, not rom-coms, but love stories in general, LGBTQ or otherwise. And it's just absorbing and great and very well done. Very, very well done. There are some heartbreaking moments in this. And it builds its story well. It builds it organically. It lets you follow these characters on a journey through their, everyday lives. And it just does it in such a way that it's really powerful. Even if some of it is cliche, the positives, the grand parts outweigh any of the cliches. Push them over to the side and say, we're going to present this story this way. Number 5, Suzume. This originally was going to probably be my favorite film of the year, and upon reflecting, while still really good and made me cry, made me almost openly weep in the theater, because the story got me, there is one period for about 20 minutes where it does something, and then it just seemingly meanders for a bit. And if they had cut that part in half, then it might have been up higher. And it's not that it drags, it just seems almost unnecessary. Like, it's 2 hours, and you almost think an hour and 40 minutes might have worked better. I mean, I get why they did it, but I still think it was a little bit unnecessary to be as long as it was. Suzume, though, as far, you'll never look at a chair the same way again. And no, not anything weird in Japan like, they might do with furniture or things. Suzume is just really, really powerful and really good and very beautifully drawn. For the person that weathering with you, great stuff. Suzume is fantastic. And now we get number 4, Close. Friendship that is upended by tragedy. A24 knocked it out of the park, and fuck. I knew what was happening. I'm like, God, nope. Oh! And I hated it. And I was upset. And I felt so bad for the kid. It's great stuff. I'm not going to get too deep into close. I'm not going to get too close to it. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. You guys should check this out. It's a great offering from A24. It got a wider release in 2023. It was on the film circuit, film festival circuit in late 2022. But since it got a wide release in 2023, more mainstream, I decided to put it on this list because it's my list and I can do that. And also the official release date says January 2023. So fucking there. It got a lot of praise. I see why. And very heartbreaking. So we get to number 3, 1001. To be perfectly honest, you could take 1, 2, and 3 and flip them around, and this list would be just about the same. 1001, I had heard good things about, and it's streaming on Peacock currently as of this recording. Tiana Taylor, who I saw her talents being wasted in White Men Can't Jump, she plays a mother that's bound, determined to raise her son properly in ever-changing New York City. And goodness me, maybe there are a couple points where some people might think it falters, but it tells such a great story that you can ignore the fact that some characters just drop out of the goddamn thing, and then it'll appear for just like a scene, but it tells such a great story between mother and son, and also father figure, and the racism aspect, and the changing of New York, and basically pushing minorities out of affordable housing. And there's a lot of really great stuff, and the ending really got me. The ending really, really goddamn got me. It is not necessarily a happy movie. I will say that much. But 1001, one of my favorite dramas centering around, African American, like the theme of African Americans, of family, since Waves. Waves was my favorite movie of 2019. And this is right up there just as far as being powerful and so heart-wrenching. I may like Waves a little bit more, but 1001, just on the strength of Tiana Taylor and the young man that plays the 13-year-old and the 17-year-old versions of the son, really good stuff. I mean, not that the younger versions weren't good, but once it kicked up with the teenage years, it was a lot. It was just otherworldly. Number 2, Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. It has Rachel McAdams, a woman that I have adored since Mean Girls, and it has Kathy Bates as a guilt-hammering Jewish grandmother. Sign me the fuck up. And also, just great. You got the girl who plays Margaret, who's just gonna be a goddamn star. She absolutely nailed it here. So much great stuff. Great pacing. Based on the popular yet controversial book, I loved it. I had a lot of fun watching Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. And number 1, Past Lives. The most recent addition to this list. I saw it very recently in theaters, and I cried. Had to wear my sunglasses going out of the theater because it was just a great story of 2 childhood friends reconnecting. And my goodness, after like 20-something years, and it was just so powerfully told. Organically told, organically played out, that Past Lives from A24. Yes, maybe I will marry somebody from A24. Shut up. But if you're single, call me. No, I'm kidding. But another A24 masterpiece. Past Lives is great. Greta Lee, Teo Yu, and John Magaro absolutely nailing the roles. I loved it. I loved it. Past Lives will definitely end up being... It could end up still being my favorite movie of the year. It's going to be hard to top. But 1, 2, and 3, they were fighting for supremacy. But there we go. Those are my favorite movies of 2023 so far. My best movies of 2023 so far, that is. Let me know yours in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Retlin. I'll see you soon.